There are many choices for readers today when looking for a good book. The creativity of others is seen in the many genres available. Some readers like adventure, some prefer romance, and others enjoy historical fiction. Undoubtedly, one of the greatest authors of classical literature is Jane Austen. She captures her reader's imagination as she paints a picture of life in England in the 1800s. Her childhood and family life, her personal love life, and her life as a writer is fascinating to study. Jane Austen was born on December 16, 1775, at Steventon Rectory, where her father was a clergyman. Her father and mother had 6 boys and 2 girls: James, George, Edward, Henry, Francis, Charles, Jane, and Cassandra made up the Austen children. Their family was very close. Formal education was too expensive for their family, so it was the other members of the family who were responsible to teach the girls to read and write. Jane and her sister were sent to boarding school for 1 year, but returned due to financial reasons. At boarding school, the sisters were introduced to French, spelling, needlework, dancing, music, and probably drama. Possibly Jane Austen began her writing career as early as 1787, writing poems, stories, and plays to her family's amusement. The Austen family was known for inviting neighbors to their plays that were written by Jane and performed by all of the children currently living at home. Jane, who never really left home, grew into a lovely woman. When Jane was 20 years old, she met a man named Tom Lefroy, who was a nephew of a neighbor. Presumably, Jane and Tom were introduced at a ball or gathering sometime in December 1795 or January of 1796. It is clear from Jane's memoirs that the two of them spent a lot of time together, and that she had fallen in love with the young law student. Tom Lefroy, who was bound to his benefactor, his uncle, made attempts to marry Jane. Because of their class differences, the marriage was forbidden. With broken hearts, the two parted, and it is believed they never saw each other again. In 1802, Jane received her only marriage proposal from Harris Bigwether. Harris was a friend from childhood and had just finished his education at Oxford. He was a plain-looking man who was quiet and did not have good social skills. A marriage to Harris would have given Jane practical benefits for both her and her family. She would have been able to provide security for her parents, and a permanent home for her sister Cassandra. Jane accepted the offer, but changed her mind the next day when she realized she did not love him and therefore could not endure marriage to him. Sense and Sensibility was Jane Austen's first published novel. The story is about 3 sisters who lose their family and are forced to move to a cottage in the country. They lose their home and a position in society. Similarly, Jane and her sister experienced the same thing when their father died. Unlike her own life story, the sisters in the novel are married to wealthy, kind gentlemen who provide for them for the rest of their lives. Mansfield Park was published in May 1813. The public loved this novel so much that the publisher sold out all the copies within 6 months. Jane's earnings on the piece of literature surpassed all the other works. Additional novels written by Jane Austen are Emma, Persuasion, and of course Pride and Prejudice. Understanding Jane's personal life, readers see similarities with her novels. Her life seemed to be filled with close family relationships, a broken heart, unforgiving social classes, and love never happening in real life. There is a variety of good books to choose from today. Many readers look only at modern literature and miss great classics like Sense and Sensibility or Pride and Prejudice. Jane Austen's books capture imagination in the reader. There are many things to learn from in Jane Austen's life and books. To study classical literature is fascinating.